We're now joined by the Busch Light Pole Award winner for tomorrow's championship race and a member of the championship for William Byron. William, come on, Christopher. We're also now joined by Christopher Bell as well. If you have a question for William or Christopher, please raise your hand and we'll get your mic. We'll start with Zach in the front and go around.
Zach Sterniolo, NASCAR.com. William, to your left here. Congratulations on the pole. Do you feel like you guys have the race pace to match that? Obviously, looking at the practice speeds yesterday, it seemed like the 20 and the 12 both had long run speed. Do you feel like you guys have that in the 24 car?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we were right there in the mix. We definitely needed to connect our corner a little bit better and just kind of get our overall balance a little bit closer. But felt like we leaned heavily on some of the Chevy teammates. So thanks to Kyle Busch and RCR for some of the changes they made and also the one car. So I feel like we have something to race with.
Go up to Jonathan.
Jonathan Field, the racing experts. Question for each of you. I'll start with William. William, knowing the 24 car's legacy and I guess the championship dry spell, now that you're at this point, I mean, what are your thoughts, feelings?
I don't really think about that. I think that, maybe when I got in the car, I felt that way and thought about that, but not at this point. So it's just all about our team that we've built. And, it's great. It's great to have Jeff here and his support, and we share a bond, but I'm not thinking about that when I'm driving.
Sure. And for Christopher, knowing that you and Larson are facing off in such a high stakes battle, how does it feel to be representing the dirt community and just everything that's going on?
Yeah, I think it's really cool. I hope that our story, which is oddly similar, I hope that spreads hope to young racers out there. And, I think that should extend outside of the dirt community, even to, late models, bandoleros, legend cars, whatever it is that, if you win races, then you're going to get opportunities. And that's just the motto that I want to share, and I want young racers out there to believe.
Go here to Bob and then Jerry.
Or in William's case, iRacers.
It's true. Don't forget about the dirt iRacing community.
Bob Pockers, Fox Sports. I have one for each of you. First, Christopher, you were tops in 10-lap average yesterday. Obviously didn't qualify the way you wanted. So are you optimistic because of yesterday or worried because of today?
Bob, I'm probably more optimistic because I've never won a race from the pole. So, obviously the pit stall is a great advantage, and we gave it to William. So congratulations on that. But aside from that, I think the starting position is less of a factor just because it's 312 laps. But yesterday in practice, my car showed great pace, and that leaves me feeling very optimistic. And certainly the whole weekend has gone a lot better than it did 12 months ago.
And for William, I don't know if you know, but like the restart zone was in one area yesterday. They moved it back to where it's supposed to be. You're obviously leading the field on the initial restart. So I'm curious, did that matter that they moved it back to where it was? Do you practice that kind of thing? And would it have messed you all up for the start of the race if it was in a different spot?
I think it would have definitely been an adjustment, given where it was. I mean, just watching the truck race and kind of seeing how that played out. But I think moving it back to the traditional spot is great. Kudos to them for doing that and recognizing it. And I think, I don't think I'll really do anything different on the initial start. Just try to have a good start, I guess. Get through the gears.
Jerry
Jordan, kickingthetires.net. Real quick for both of y'all, we've been through press conferences after press conferences to get to this point. Are you guys, is this kind of like a relief that, now you get to get in the car and, go race?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's nice to be done with all the hoopla. So it's going to be great to get in the car. But, I mean, it's been nice. I love it out here. We've done a lot of fun things, and my friends are here, and I'm just excited to kind of do normal stuff for the next 24 hours.
Christopher, for you, is it finally you get to focus on just racing now?
I mean, not yet. We still have a couple appearances tomorrow, I think, all 4 of us together. So we're not to that point yet, and we won't be until they do the national anthem, and then it'll finally be time to get in your car and race. So, one thing that I am really focused on is enjoying the moment. You know, this is it's a really, really cool deal, and a lot of people would give to be in the position that William and I are both in. So just trying to enjoy the moment.
Go to Davey, and then over here.
Davey Siegel with Sirius XM in the back. A lot of in the past races have come down to a final pit stop and a short green flag run. With that being said, how do you guys feel about confidence-wise your speed in the short run versus the long run tomorrow, and what's more important, I guess?
Try to be good the whole run, but I think honestly for us it's not really that focused until maybe we see in the race what our weaknesses are. But in practice, it was nobody ran 60 laps on tires to know what that fall off's going to be like. But I felt like we were all kind of close.
Christopher?
Eric List, Blaze Radio.
Oh, sorry. Christopher had to answer that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The short run, long run stuff, like everybody is so tight, and like they post the practice results of the 10-lap averages, and from the best car to the 4th of us was what, a 10th of a second? Like that's going to come down to who's out front, and typically I think short run cars are dictated by where you restart. If you restart on the front row, it looks like you have a great short run car. If you restart 5th row, it won't look like you have a good short run car. So there's a lot that will play out in the race, and like William said, you learn more about your car whenever you get into the first stage and know where you stack up against the competition.
Good.
Eric List, Blaze Radio, and for William, your first time in the championship 4. Have you gotten any advice from Kyle Larson, Chase Elliott, the guys that have done it, and what have they told you?
No, not really. I mean, I haven't really asked. I feel like it's just trying to experience it for myself. That's the best way you can learn. So I feel like for me, I kind of go back to Xfinity days and what that felt like, because it was the same format, albeit a lot different, competition. But I just kind of go back to my own experience, because I feel like that's all that really matters.
I have another one over here, and then we'll wrap up with Rob.
Cooperins, BlazeRadioOnline.com. This is a question for either of you. Either you can answer, but you kind of talked about being out front and how important it's going to be in clean air. When you're in the back and sort of the middle of the pack on a restart, how conscious are you going to be of the balance between trying to pass a bunch of cars and being aggressive and taking care of your car, because it can get 4 and 5 wide pretty easily?
Yeah, I guess I'll take this one since he's out front. But it's thankfully, I feel like once you get into this championship race, the field is pretty respectful of who's racing for the championship. So that's really good. And last year I was in a similar position. I think I qualified in the teens, and it's a long race. This is not a place where you can restart in the teens and then in a couple of laps be in the top 5. It just doesn't happen. So you have to be aggressive on restarts, and you have to trust your other competitors that they're going to race you with respect whenever you get into those 4 and 5 wide positions where contact can happen.
Good, Rob.
I'm struck by seeing the two of you guys sitting up there. You're each respectively potentially the future of these two iconic teams, and could go on to become a great rivalry for the years to come. I'd like to hear each of you just talk about each other as a driver and how kind of the future feels like it's here.
Yeah, I mean, Christopher and I have known each other since trucks, so we spend a lot of time racing each other, and I feel like that that has continued into the Cup Series. We got in a little bit different time, a little bit different path, but we've always raced really hard and with respect, and it's just it's good to race people all the way up through the ranks, because I feel like you really respect those kind of people more so than just someone, I guess, who came in and you don't know anything about. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, William and I have a unique relationship because we're teammates whenever we started out our NASCAR career, I guess, so to speak, and we were buds back in the day. Like, it was just me and him, he's probably honestly the closest teammate that I've ever had in my career in 2016, just bouncing ideas off of and talking about how we're really working together to better both of us. So, you know, we have a great history, and we kind of went our separate ways after that year at KBM, but it certainly was something that I look back at and think it was pretty cool, you know, to have both of us in the Final Four racing for our first championship, and the camaraderie that we have now.
So we do have time for one more. We got Jordan here, and we're up there.
Jordan Bianchi, The Athletic. This question's for William. You talked about being in this format before in the Xfinity Series, and there's a lot of always talk about, you know, first-timers in this format, pressure, that kind of thing. Do you really feel any pressure? Is it really any different, or is it just kind of a normal weekend in a lot of respects?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be nervous because that's normal, but I think that having that experience was something that really stuck with me to get in the Cup Series, and I don't feel any different this week. I feel like it's a lot of pressure to get to the Final Four, and I feel like all of us would say that it's a big accomplishment to get here, and you'd like to have this every year. You'd like to have the same meaning behind the championship weekend, so I'm excited. I feel like we have a great opportunity.
All right, Christopher, William, thank you so much for the time. Good luck tomorrow.